Oh my, thank you for clicking on this video and you're welcome to this channel where we dish value for your time. Just like I'm going to be showing you shortly how to make this beautiful bubble skirt. So let's get right on it. This is 2 yards of a doll face fabric that I got to make a dress, but the color didn't match. So let me just use it and make this bubble skirt. And this is a dress that I made, still a doll face, but it's already weak. So I just cut it and I'm going to use it to sew this. So please don't tell anybody I'm using a different color as my lining. For this skirt, you at least need the waist circumference, the hip circumference, and the full length of the skirt. First of all, on the lining, I've already cut it out, but I will tell you exactly what I did. Now, let me explain to you. The full length I want for this skirt is 21 inches. Then I want a band of 2 inches. Taking it out from 21 inches gives you 19 inches, right? So this is the length. And here I have 19 inches. Then plus 1 inch hemming allowance, joining allowance. I need ½ inch downwards and ½ inch at this part. So in total here is 20 inches. Then in order to create a bubble, the main fabric is usually longer than the lining. And I want that effect to be 4 inches. So from here, I have 4 inches. That gives me a total of 24 inches. And this is my lining. The length I had here was 20 inches, right? And for the lining is going to be shorter by 4 inches. This one is extra by 4 inches, while this is going to be shorter by 4 inches. So 20 minus 4, that gives me 16 inches. And I have it here. For the circumference at the waist part, this is going to have a band. So I'm going to use my hip circumference for my waist, okay? It's going to be on XS so that it can pass through the hip. And my hip circumference is 42 inches divided by 4 is 10.5 inches. So from my center fold, please, this is on fold. I have 2 pieces here, as you can see, for the front and for the back, and it's on fold. I'll measure 10.5 inches, and that is here. Then I'm just giving 1 inch side allowance. 10.5 inches is here, 1 inch side allowance. But instead of cutting it straight away like this, because I have excess here, I'm just going to keep it in that flay form, like this, to look as if it is a flay, a little bit flay. And I will trim out the excess I have. I'm just notching the centers. This is my main fabric, and you can also see that it is on fold. Let me measure and tell you. So my waist circumference is 30 inches, and I have 4 times my waist circumference. Although it might be much, you can do less of it, but so this is 4 times my waist circumference. I have about 8 inches extra, and it's on fold. That's why I said 4 times. So I'm going to fold it again into 4. Remember, I said that it's on excess by 8 inches, and I folded it again here. So what I want to do is to reduce it by half of 8 inches is 4 inches, right? So I'm going to mark 4 inches here. 1 inch side allowance. So I will still take it down like this straight, let it look like a flay. And I will notch the center. I like notching. Even if I use it on knots, I like notching. There is it. I hope you can see it. So let me go ahead and trim it out. Yours can be straight, but since I have the opportunity to keep it a little bit flay, why not? Here is a fabric for the band. The measurement is 5 inches in total. Remember I said I need 2 inches length of waistband. Now on fold, it's going to be 2 inches. I have it here, then plus ½ inch to join it to this skirt. And the width, the circumference of this is 21 inches. Remember it's on fold, 21 inches. I'm using the circumference of my hip. I said my hip is 42 inches. Half of it is 21 inches. So in total it is 43 inches, 1 inch to join it. I hope you understand what I'm saying. If you have any confusion, please drop it. I will go ahead and join here with ½ of an inch on the main fabric too. I'll pick it out this way and then proceed to join. Okay, I'll join the sides. This is one side. Join it with that 1 inch side allowance I gave. Join this side too with 1 inch side allowance all the way down. Do the same thing for the lining. Right side facing right side. I'll go ahead and join the sides with 1 inch side allowance. So I've joined it like I said. So this is the right side and this is the hemline of the lining. This is the wrong side of the doll face and this is the hemline. What I'm going to do is to sandwich this into here. Remember I notched it at the center. Here too is notched. I'll just pin here. I'll also pin the back part. Then I'll take this is the side line. I'll match it with the side line of this one. Pin. Do the same thing for the other side. And this is what I have. So what I'll go ahead to do is to make sure I gather this whole thing I have here into this lining space. You know, gather everything into this space. And I'm sewing with 1/2 inch. I'm sewing until I consume everything. This part too, I will continue. So this part too, I'm gathering everything into what I have on the lining. So that's how I'll sew it all the way around. So you see, right side facing the right side of the fabric facing the right side of the lining. Okay, so you can see the effects. I'm done gathering. So I'll turn it. Remember that the lining is shorter than the main fabric. So another thing also, the notches that I gave, the center, this is the lining, and I also gave a notch here too. Okay, so I'll match it this way, pin. At the side, I'll match the two sides and pin. Just do it the same way we did the down part. Here is it. So the same way, I will gather what I have here into this, just go ahead and gather it into all the way around and sew. Do you see our bubble skirt? Look at how it is, the one I told you. So this is how it's going to be here. Then the next and final thing is to just attach our band. So to do that, this is my band and you can see I've already gone ahead to sew it like I mentioned. And I noticed that this skirt was a bit shorter, so I increased my band width to 3 inches. So I have 3.5 inches here, 1/2 inch to join it here. Apart from that, everything stays the same. Then this is my band. If you have 2 inches with band, that's fine, but I have only 1 inch, so you can see I joined and it's up to 3. To know the length to use, at least use your waist circumference minus 5 inches. My waist circumference is 30 inches, so I took out 5 inches. I'm making it up to 5 inches. You can even snatch it further and make it like you take out up to 7 inches. So but I'll tell you whatever final one I used. So that's the length I'm making use of right now. And then you can decide to attach your band first before joining it to this place, but I want to join my band to the waist before that. Remember, the width of this band is the hip circumference, all right, which is 42 inches, and that's also the width of this one. Let me explain something to you. So you remember that I joined the bands here, right? So what I did was I measured the width on one side, which is going to be the hidden part. I left 1/2 inch here. I sewed 1/2 inch here, which I'm going to join to this way. Then left an open space that will contain this band. All right. Then went ahead to sew the other part, backstitched, and then sew it down. So in essence, I have an opening here. I hope you can see that. That's just it. Then I'm going to place this in. You can see that it is matching. I matched this center to center, pinned, side to side, pinned, I've pinned it everywhere. So for this part, make sure that you have the seam opened up this way. You can see, open it up so that it will allow you to put the band very well. Then I went ahead to pin it at the center. So I'll go ahead to sew this with 1/2 inch all the way around. And after I was done with that, this is what I have. So it's now time to pass the elastic into the opening. If you have a toner, is it loop toner or what? You can use it, but I'm using my safety pin and I'll use it to pass this elastic band into the space. So I used my pin to hold on this side so that it will not enter in. And then I'm done with this. So I'm taking off my safety pin, and then I'll hold the two together. Go ahead and sew it several times. I've sewn it and it's already inside. So what I can do here is to just hold this up, and yeah, I can tack it also. But I don't want to leave this way. I don't want to leave the band this way. I'll go ahead, divide the band maybe into three. One, two, three. Okay, yeah, three places. And then just the way I've divided it, I will take it, go ahead to sew, top stitch. From here, I'm stretching out, like I'm stretching it this way. I'm sewing, I'm stretching the band, I'm sewing. You're stretching out, you're sewing. When I'm done with this line, I'll sew the next line and sew the third line. Okay, this is it, and we are done with the skirts. Isn't this looking beautiful? So, buddy, I hope with this few points of mine, I was able to convince you and not confuse you that you too can make this skirt. And it's very simple. For this reason, please don't go with my likes, don't go with my subscription. Give us a thumbs up, share this video. If you still have any confusion at any point, please drop it in the comment section, and I'm always there to answer. For now, take care of you and do have a lovely evening, lovely day, lovely night, anyone. Bye.